most teachers, most administrators, they're educators, but they're not school safety professionals. So what our endeavor was is to give them tools to help them be a school safety professional as well. The Partner Alliance for Safer Schools was founded in 2014 as an endeavor to help K-12 stakeholders to implement sound life safety components through the layers of security in their districts.
Schools are lacking in a standardized approach. In many other facilities, there is a procedure or policy.
So, with the lack of those standards, PASS fills the void by being the guidelines that K-12 can point to and say, listen, this is where I am security and safety-wise right now in the risk spectrum. This is where I need to be, and this is how I plan on getting there.
The PASS guidelines are made up of multiple components that cover many types of technological solutions to helping keep a school facility safe. They're so important and they're so broad. There will be many technologies and services that will be entwined into those components. So the components would be the district roles and policies. So when we look at an example of the district-wide policies, that could be things like creating the policies and procedures on how you do access control, how they do the lockdown drills. That would be an example of district policy. A human roles policy would be how those employees are empowered to use those different components and different technology to help them keep safe. When we look at architectural, an example would be crime prevention through environmental design.
Many architects want to do really good things for schools. LEED is important, but CPTED and protecting lives is much more important.
When we look at video management systems, the example of those components would be the cameras, the door stations that you use to buzz in. Detection alarms could be the good old-fashioned motion detectors, but it could also be things such as analytics, such as threat detection, systems that do like sound detection, facial recognition, biometrics, or just good old-fashioned asset protection. Another important component in school safety is communication. The PA system, the mass notification system, the transportation, how we send internet protocols within the district. The communications is very broad because we're also facilitating communications between those components and to the district human roles and processes. You can't do any of the other life safety components in K-12 safety and security without access control. If you don't implement the proper access control measures in your schools and you implement other components, you're destined to fail with those other components.
Now, where you take that access control depends on what your risk profile is. The access control will take video surveillance, alarm management, and inject it into that platform. Now you have visualization because the cameras are integrated into that access control as well. So you can see what's happening and you can take command, contain, control, and communications.
It's like Legos. Everything works together in many ways to help keep the school safe.
Prevention is crucial, but in the unfortunate event that doesn't happen, response is the next step in this process. It's absolutely crucial that we give our first responders the tools necessary to respond in an effective and efficient manner to mitigate risk and address that potential threat. One of the best ways to increase an effective response is to have a unified life safety system. Unified life safety systems offer a number of tools, whether it's video management, mass communications, access control. Those are just some of the options that your school can utilize in the event of a critical incident. One of the most crucial components of a successful response by a first responder is pre-planning. That type of pre-planning has to take place long in advance before an incident happens.
The drills, when performed with law enforcement together and concurrently, allow the school and the law enforcement agencies were able to bring those two together and create a response that is calculated, practiced, rapid, and brings closure to many of these events that are happening in the schools.
It's most important to note that PASS is not passive in its endeavor to help school districts to identify life safety components to be deployed in K through 12 schools.
In a learning environment, there are many moving parts. Therefore, PASS has to have many moving parts. And to accomplish that, what PASS does is it brings in the best and brightest from all sections of K-12 safety and security.
The folks that are involved in that come from the industry, law enforcement, school officials, mental health stakeholders, K through 12 administrators.
We're bringing in new people with new sets of skills into the program so that we can address not only current threats, but future threats that are affecting K-12 environments.